In the turbulent world of American politics, the media plays a critical role in shaping public opinion, often acting as the gatekeeper of information. As major networks take sides, perhaps none has been more conspicuously aligned with Donald Trump than Fox News. However, in recent weeks, Fox News seems to be in a tailspin, struggling to maintain its narrative as Bombshell reports continue to emerge about Trump's involvement in the attempted overturn of the 2020 election. A 165-page report recently unsealed by Judge Tanya Chutkan, filed by Special Counsel Jack Smith, details the damning evidence of Trump's criminal behavior both before and after the election. The facts laid bare in this document are not just shocking. They are a blueprint of Trump's desperate attempts to cling to power. As other networks dive into the details of this explosive report, Fox News appears paralyzed, struggling to find a coherent response. This video explores how Fox News, long a bastion of pro-Trump propaganda, is reacting to the growing mountain of evidence against him. Will they continue to shield Trump from accountability, or will they finally be forced to face the truth? We take a closer look at the network's evasions, the cracks forming in its facade, and what the future holds for this right-wing media giant in the face of overwhelming facts. Fox News' complicity in Trump's rise. For years, Fox News has operated as the unofficial PR machine for Donald Trump. From its highest-rated primetime shows like Hannity and Tucker Carlson Tonight, before Carlson's departure, to the more straightforward news coverage provided by anchors such as Neil Cavuto, the network has long been accused of serving as Trump's mouthpiece. This symbiotic relationship reached its zenith during Trump's presidency, when the former president himself would often call into Fox programs, further blurring the lines between media and political power. But even as Trump faces increasing legal scrutiny, Fox News has been slow to distance itself from him. The revelations in Special Counsel Jack Smith's report represent the most damning evidence to date, outlining Trump's coordinated efforts to undermine the 2020 election results. Yet, as this bombshell report drops, Fox News continues to bury its head in the sand. A fair moment for Fox News? To be fair, there are exceptions. Neil Cavuto, one of Fox's more traditional journalists, did acknowledge the report, presenting the facts to his audience in a rare moment of journalistic integrity. During his segment, Cavuto briefly outlined the charges against Trump, stating, "We're learning that former President Trump resorted to crimes in a bid to cling to power after the 2020 election." This level of candor is refreshing, particularly on a network known for its pro-Trump bias. However, Cavuto's report was brief and lacked the kind of in-depth analysis seen on other networks. His acknowledgement of Trump's criminal actions, while important, was buried under the weight of the network's broader attempts to downplay or ignore the story altogether. The spin machine in action. Fox News avoidance tactics. As soon as the Jack Smith report was unsealed, one might have expected a flurry of coverage from a news network that thrives on sensationalism. Yet, Fox News remained conspicuously silent. Rather than diving into the details of Trump's criminal actions, the network seemed to go into a collective huddle, as if strategizing on how to spin or even ignore the story. Enter Laura Ingraham, one of Fox's most ardent Trump supporters. On her primetime show, rather than addressing the 165 pages of evidence, Ingraham chose to briefly mention the filing with a cheer-in reading Chutkan and Smith desperate to influence elections. Her messaging appeared to shift the focus away from Trump's actions and onto those investigating him, suggesting a coordinated attempt to discredit the judicial process. This is a classic Fox News tactic, pivoting the conversation away from Trump's misdeeds and toward a nebulous conspiracy against him. Not only did Ingraham underplay the seriousness of the charges, but she also filled her show with fluff segments that seemed trivial compared to the gravity of the story at hand. As the nation learned about Trump's attempts to subvert democracy, Ingram was focused on discussing Trump's pick of Tim Walz, suggesting the former president's decision was rooted in a desire for economic growth and peace through strength. In a bizarre moment, she even misspoke, confusing Walz with another politician, a mistake that underscored the disarray within Fox's ranks. Sean Hannity, Fox's other prominent primetime anchor and longtime Trump confidant, took a similar approach, largely ignoring the report. Instead, Hannity spent significant airtime promoting Trump's new book. It was an infomercial masquerading as journalism, with Trump's wife, Melania, making a rare appearance to support her husband. During their conversation, Melania parroted a familiar talking point, claiming the media was afraid of Trump's strength and leadership. The entire segment felt like a last-ditch effort to rehabilitate Trump's image, a blatant distraction from the legal realities Trump now faces. Fox News has long been criticized for its close ties to Trump, but this was something else entirely. It was as if Hannity's show had transformed into a platform for Trump's business ventures, a cynical reminder that Fox's primary allegiance is not to its viewers, but to the Trump brand. Right-wing propaganda networks close ranks. While Fox News may be hedging its bets, other right-wing media outlets are doubling down on their defense of Trump. Networks like Right Side Broadcasting Network, RSBN, have gone full throttle in their support of Trump, offering a steady stream of uncritical coverage of his speeches and rallies. During a recent event in Wisconsin, Trump repeated a false claim that children were leaving school and returning home with their gender changed, a lie so absurd that even many conservatives have distanced themselves from it. Yet, RSBN and similar networks continue to air these statements without any attempt at fact-checking or journalistic scrutiny. Trump's rhetoric has only grown more unhinged, yet these networks seem determined to act as though everything is normal, as if his lies are not contributing to the further polarization and division of the country. The erosion of truth in media. Fox News is far from alone in its journalistic failings. Mainstream networks like CNN and MSNBC have also been criticized for providing platforms to figures like Peter Navarro, who continue to push baseless claims about election fraud. In one particularly egregious segment on MSNBC's The Beat with Ari Melber, Navarro falsely claimed that it took 30 years to acknowledge that John F. Kennedy stole the 1960 election from Richard Nixon, a historical falsehood that Melber allowed to go largely unchallenged. This both sides approach to journalism, where fringe figures are given equal footing with legitimate experts, only serves to muddy the waters further. As the American public becomes increasingly distrustful of the media, these kinds of segments do little to restore faith in the truth. If anything, they contribute to the growing divide, creating an environment where lies are given the same weight as facts. The consequences of avoiding the truth. The reality is that Donald Trump is not going away anytime soon. Despite facing multiple indictments and an ever-growing pile of legal troubles, he remains the dominant figure in Republican politics. His refusal to acknowledge the results of the 2020 election, combined with his continuing attacks on the judicial system, ensures that election interference will remain a major issue heading into 2024. For Fox News, the stakes are high. As more details of Trump's crimes come to light, the network's credibility is on the line. Will they continue to downplay or ignore the evidence, risking further erosion of their audience's trust? Or will they finally be forced to confront the truth, even if it means alienating their most loyal viewers? The cracks in Fox News' armor are becoming harder to ignore. The network's reliance on Trump has long been its strength, but it may also be its undoing. As more details emerge about Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election, Fox News will need to make a choice. Continue to serve as Trump's propaganda machine, or return to its roots as a news organization that values facts over fiction. In a world where truth is increasingly under siege, The media has a responsibility to hold power to account. Fox News has shirked this responsibility for far too long, but as Trump scandals mount, they may soon find themselves with no choice but to face the truth or risk losing what little credibility they have left.